today. I will let Connect take it first.
Hi, Alex. Hi, everybody. Well, thank you for joining. We are still waiting for a couple more people. I hope there will be more participants. And yeah, we have a great webinar today. My name is Arkady. I represent Connect Agency based in Canada, and I work with people from all over the world. We mainly have people from Europe in this webinar, and I recruit students for Canadian institutions, for institutions in the United States, in European countries such as Germany, Spain, Cyprus, etc. So quite a few, and I work very closely with virtual internships. Great company. They provide services to students from working on their resume, working on their expectations, to placement, and to reporting, I guess, that helps them track how the progress of the I don't know if it's called reporting, or like tracking the progress of the internships and making sure that students get the best possible experience while doing virtual internships. Some people find that working remotely is not the same as working in the office. You're not going to get the same experience, but I already had quite a few students taking virtual internships, and it was great experience for them. They had an opportunity to get their some of them, they even like got a job offer, but some of them, they enhanced their resume, they enhanced the opportunities of getting better jobs in the future and learning a lot of new things. And I've only heard great testimonials from people. So, well, thank you very much to Virtual Internships, and Alex, thanks a lot for organizing this webinar. It will be great to hear about the company, about the services, and let people know a little bit more about what we can do for them.
Yep, no, pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure to present today to you and your students. Again, I think this is a fantastic opportunity to highlight the benefits of remote working, and that's what we'll do today, is essentially discussing what is remote work experience and why, as a student or an individual, you should have one, and now is the time to do it. A little bit of housekeeping. As mentioned, this will be recorded. All questions, please refer them to the Q&A section. So as they come about in your head, feel free to pop your questions into the Q&A and we can answer them at the end. I do have the chat function open as well. So if there's any sort of questions throughout the entirety, go through and sort of pump them in there so we can answer them at the end. There is no such thing as a silly question. No doubt everyone is probably thinking the same thing. So let's get underway with it. So what we will cover today is, what is a remote work? So what does remote work look like, and what are the benefits? Who works remotely? So who is currently working remotely and why? Again, this is important to understand, this trend that's been growing quite dramatically. Thirdly will be virtual internship. So what does an actual remote internship look like? And then lastly, understanding the placement process and what does your journey look like on a virtual internship program. First off, let's get an understanding of remote work and really what's happened after COVID. So COVID-19's impact had deepening greatly on one question. So can I work home, or am I tethered to the workplace? And this was really a serious question a lot of individuals were working, sort of asking at the start of quarantine. They were concerned about their employment, concerned about their jobs, both employees and employers. So quarantines, lockdowns, and self-imposed isolations have pushed tens of millions around the world to work from home. And this accelerated the workplace experiment that had struggled to really gain traction before COVID-19. Now well into and past the pandemic, the limitations and benefit remote work are clear. The virus broke through cultural and technological barriers that prevented remote work in the past, setting in motion a structural shift in the workplace. So over the course of this presentation, I will be showing you some data points, some information on very large companies and what they're doing to support remote working. And it's clearly evident that it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. So now is the time to enhance your skills and your ability to work remotely and really set yourself apart from your peers at universities, high school, or wherever you're currently at in your education and life cycle. So what is remote work? What does remote work look like, and what are the benefits? So Remote work, also known as work from home, virtual work, or telecommunicating, is a type of flexible working arrangement that allows an employee to work from a remote location outside of a corporate physical office. So this isn't something that's new. Telecommunicating has been coined around for a fair few years. In particular, myself, I've been working remotely for the last 8 years now. I don't think I'll ever step back into an office. And I've really enjoyed my ability to take my work anywhere in the world, which has seen me lived in Australia, in Vietnam, in the UK, within Europe, and in parts of the Middle East as well. So it's really exciting opportunity for me to still be able to do my work, still have that comfortable sort of secure of payments, sort of a salary coming in and not feeling insecure about my job, but still at the same time exploring the world, understanding new cultures, and having that flexibility within my work lifestyle. And this is really where it comes into where the remote workers are at. So many remote workers have set aside offices or space to work and connect from home. And that is the case for myself. I work from my house. So it's currently in Portugal. I have an office set aside for myself. So I am still technically going into an office. It's just one room to another. But my commute time is dramatically reduced from, anywhere from 45 minutes to down to 2 minutes. So it is really easy to commute to work. There is some others that still like the aspect of interaction with other colleagues or other individuals, might I say, and this is called co-working. And this, again, really took off, especially before COVID, they were still around, and then they really took off after COVID. And these are co-working spaces. So some examples would be WeWork. Another example is Regis. And these are co-working spaces that allow you to either share an office or share a hot desk and go in 1 to 3 days a week to meet like-minded individuals that are also doing, remote working. Another one, and this is a really big trend at the moment, is digital nomads. And they're depending on the country's policies, some remote workers can relocate around the globe and still completing for the work. When it comes to digital nomads, this is a particular visa you can get in certain countries. Portugal, I believe the current list is up to 11, which includes Portugal, parts of Europe, parts of America, parts of South America as well. So these allow you.
Sorry, and now there is 2 more countries adding there, Greece and Spain, which is also great. Yeah, and very nice destinations for those who want to work remotely.
That is definitely correct. You could exactly look like this individual right here sitting on the beach. You could be doing that. And again, it's a growing trend with a lot of governments recognizing remote workers as a way of stimulating their economy, while also allowing the individual to travel around and have that flexibility. So these are the current three models of remote workers. So who is working remotely? So who's currently working remotely and why? So a recent Harvard study noted that 27 of US workers would like to remain 100% working remotely after COVID. So the benefits are, like I said, reduced cost to company in terms of rent, increased time back to staff who no longer need to commute. So myself, no longer need to do that 45 minutes, flexible working hours and support. So this traditional 9 to 5 model is slowly fading away. It's the expectation of the employee to do the work with the allocated time they believe. So there's no need you need to log in at 9 and finish at 5. You could say, I want to work from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then take a couple of hours off and then finish the remaining work in the evening. Again, you can do that. There's a lot of flexibility around that. And there's the loss of need to be located in urban centers or near office spaces. So a lot of companies are now hiring skilled individuals in rural areas or typically like locations they never considered beforehand because they always pulled from city or urban centers. So now they're expanding their potential employees, and this allows you the ability to gain that job that you're really looking for. 55% of US workers would like a hybrid model. So as you can see, this is a very popular model. This is 2 to 3 days a week from home, and then the others in the office. And again, this isn't just a US trend. This is happening across the UK, Ireland, most parts of Europe, a lot of parts of Asia, and across Australia as well. So there is this more drive towards a hybrid work because it's the best of both worlds. You get the ability to have a bit of flexibility at home, but at the same time, it allows you to go into the office and engage with your colleagues and really allows for meetings and collaboration at an increased level. So increased collaboration and workplace culture. And like I said, this is the primary sort of interest at the moment. Then 18% of US workers would like to return to the office full time. Most companies are offering all three, and it really depends on you as the individual on what you like. And that really just goes to know that, again, remote working, you need the skills these days to be competitive. Yes, you can go to the office. However, there is more tech companies coming up from out of the ground where they're 100% remote. For example, virtual internships. Majority of our staff work in 120 different countries. We all work remotely, other than our head office in Vietnam, which has a staff capacity about 10 at the moment. So the majority of us work remotely, while some work in an office. And so we've really embraced this ethos of remote work, and a lot of other tech companies and other companies are doing the same. Which really goes on to this slide here. So who's working remotely? So Facebook, everyone knows who Facebook is. Facebook noted that the social media giant will start allowing as many as 50,000 employees and new recruits to work from home on a permanent basis since COVID-19. And this goes well beyond after the completion of COVID-19. This process will allow Facebook to go beyond the urban hubs of Facebook, go beyond their urban hubs where Facebook has offices and hire globally. So they, again, can get that really skilled talent regardless of their location. Apple offers 100% remote work options for some of its roles. As the pandemic eases and the restrictions are lifted, the company will also offer a hybrid model. So again, Apple's moving to the hybrid model, allowing the individual to choose. PwC, which is an accounting and consulting firm, announced to allow its 4,000 US client services employees work virtually and live anywhere they want on a permanent basis, making it one of the biggest employers to embrace permanent remote work. This has now been confirmed for their UK workers as well as global office as well in 2022. So PwC is really getting behind this. And then Slack. And Slack is an instant messaging service that really sort of took stride during COVID. Has allowed all of its staff to work remotely with plans of increasing hiring remote first workers. And what that means is they will no longer be hiring for individuals to come to the office. They are primarily just hiring individuals to work remotely. That's it. And in June 2020, the Senior Vice President of People wrote that how Slack is rethinking its offices, predicting fewer amenities such as catering lunches, coffee bars, and less focus on in-person meetings with colleagues and more options for focused on solo work. And this could be, particular visa allowances. This could be insurances abroad. This could be health and wellness to gyms and other mental health sort of capacities in your local area. So they're moving from in-office resources to out-of-office resources, but you're still getting the same resource. So it's interesting to note. So how can you work remotely, and how as you as a student can engage in remote work? And this is obviously what we've just discussed now is leading up to this. So why should you consider remote work now? So 81% of companies and employers would like to work remotely on a permanent or hybrid moving forward. So now is the time to gain real work experience in a remote environment. It will let you stand out as a candidate for hybrid or remote positions. So for example, if you're currently at university and you go to one of your lectures and you could potentially look around to anywhere from 100 to 500 peers or your friends, by the time you've completed university, they are now your competitors. You're all going for the same jobs in the local areas. And if you're all wanting that in-person job, that makes it really difficult for you to gain that position. So by doing a remote work, you now expand your options to not only that local area, but to the global market as well. And you can become more competitive that way. Key skills needed for 2025, and we're in 2023 now, so it's only 2 years away, is analytical thinking, creativity, and flexibility. So a remote work experience will allow you to begin to understand these soft skills and develop them and stand out. So as a remote worker, there is the perceived idea that, again, this is somewhat self-driven. You will still have to do the work that's required. You'll have to think outside of the box how to do certain things because, again, it's on a remote platform. But this allows you to develop those soft skills. And again, note these later down the track when you're going to apply for positions, especially remote positions. So if you're a digital marketer and you're currently considering how to penetrate a market that's halfway across the world, you need to really think creatively, how are you going to do that? Are you going to begin starting doing the research on a remote basis? Are you going to start connecting with marketing professionals in that location on a virtual platform? Are you solely just going to focus on social media? Again, it's really understanding how you're going to target that market that allows you to develop those soft skills in the background. And employers are now comfortable managing the complete hiring cycle virtually from application to interview. So completing a remote work will now allow you to gain skills in remote communication and confidence behind the camera. So no doubt some of you might have experienced sort of, remote education where you would have jumped on a Zoom call with your professors and your lecturers, just like we're doing right now. However, very few of you might have had the confidence to, turn on your camera and actually speak up. And again, this can be daunting. You are still speaking in a public forum, and I understand that, public communication is not everyone's forte. But in this program, you will be exposed to not only the hiring virtually application process, so we include that as a part of the program, but you'll also be speaking to your supervisor as a one-on-one basis in a video call, allowing you to gain that confidence behind the screen. It's important to note organizations like Facebook, Google, I think Apple, and even virtual internships have all now got a pre-recorded video interview stage. And what this means is before you'll even have an interview with an individual, you will be expected or you'll be required to complete a pre-recorded video answering a certain questions. And this is now in conjunction with your CV as well. So again, there's added steps to the recruitment process. So now is the time to gain those skills.
Yeah, so I guess this is quite new requirement when people need another skill now to
Yes.
know how to act on camera and how
Yes.
to present themselves on camera without fear. Yeah, that's interesting.
It can be daunting, and I have spoken to a fair amount of students about this and how they can really master this. And again, our program allows you to do this. Our pre-recorded videos, you can record them as many times as you would like. So there's no sort of restriction on that. But I know for some organizations, you can only record 3 times, or you can only record once. And I've gone through some of those interview processes, and even myself, that's been behind the camera for quite some time now, it can be somewhat daunting to try and get it right the first time. So this is a risk-free environment where you can start testing out those skills. So engaging in remote work. So complete a remote internship. So gaining a remote work experience will allow you to better understand the virtual collaboration tools like Zoom, like Google Meets, like Slack, especially any Microsoft Office tools as well. Virtual meetings and remote working culture adapting for the future of remote jobs. Even though you're on a remote platform, even though you're doing remote work, that work culture doesn't necessarily disappear. I can tell you that I've had coffee meetups, I've had Friday sort of evenings with my colleagues, do movie sit-in and watching movies with them. You just move it, what you would do sort of in an in-office sort of landscape to a virtual landscape. So it is, this is a great time to do that. Engaging in online learning is also quite key. And a lot of you, I could understand that you did this at university and it might have been a little bit tiring. But taking a professional course on LinkedIn Learning or Coursera can allow you to build out hard and soft skills you will need for the future of work while demonstrating initiative and drive for lifelong learning. And this is quite key. According to the World Economic Forum, 94% of business leaders report they expect their employees to pick up new skills on the job, which is a sharp intake from 65% in 2018. So they're expecting you to learn as you go. They're not, obviously they're going to provide you with the work and probably the opportunities to do this, but they're expecting you to take that initiative and to understand and gain these skills. And again, Coursera and LinkedIn Learning, quite easy tools to use. You could potentially, gain a diploma in, say, digital marketing by the end of the week. Again, they're not long sort of month courses or sort of semester courses like university. They're generally condensed down onto a particular topic. You can find some free ones, you can find some cost ones, but again, it's key now to start building on these skills. And then lastly is to connect on LinkedIn. while we're all digital natives, again, I've had been on Facebook since its formation. I've had a phone since I was a teenager. I've seen Google since its inception and sort of come into what it is now. And so no doubt you're all sort of familiar with the digital natives and digital landscape, but embracing and understanding technology from a young age, you may have not been exposed to how various digital tools can be best applied for your professional setting. So LinkedIn is one of them. And if you don't have a LinkedIn account by now, I would strongly suggest creating one. It's completely free. It doesn't take that long, but it is something that you should start work on. The first digital tool you should embrace is LinkedIn. Like I said, set up job notification for remote jobs to see the type of work that you may be competing in the future or completing in the future. So about virtual internships. So we've covered, what remote working is, what are the benefits, who is doing it, and sort of what you can gain out of it. Now let's talk about us. So we're an edtech company that delivers global work experience programs to help people pursue their dream careers. And that's really what we're here to do. We're bridging the global skills gap by making internships accessible to all and preparing people for the future of work. And that's, again, what we're really striving to do here. If you are unsure of your current degree, do an internship in that career field. This is a risk-free environment. If you know what you're doing, but you don't have the necessary experience, now is the time to get it. Even if you haven't enrolled into university yet and would like to get an understanding of that culture's business practices, now is the time to do it. So again, we're here to make it more accessible to everyone. We don't put any restrictions in place. So the virtual internship, and what does the remote internship look like? So you will gain a global work experience by completing an internship from the comfort of your own home or wherever you would like to do this. If it's on the beach, if it's at a co-working space, if it's at university, wherever you want to do it, you can do it. You'll be fully supervised and supported as you gain industry knowledge from within your chosen career field. So that is in the form of not only virtual internships checking up with you, you do have a dedicated supervisor from your company. When completing a remote internship, many of the same aspects of traditional internships still exist. And this includes, meeting with your supervisors, teammates, completing a mix of individual and group projects, learning about the overall company culture and the industry it works in. But unlike the traditional internship, there may exist much more flexibility around your working hours, project timelines, and how you connect with your team. So again, call it whatever you want, whether it's remote internships, online working, online internships, telecommunicating, it's all the same. And at the end of the day, you're still getting that necessary skills to confidently work behind the camera and still achieve your dream career. We like to sort of overcome barriers and help students like yourselves get the career you're looking for. So we've understand that traditional internships, and this again is also my own personal experience, I've had this, there is sometimes a lack of direct engagement from supervisors along with active workload. So if you self-sourced your own internship, and again, I encourage anyone to find an internship, regardless whether it's with us, if it's in person, if it's another company, getting an internship is quite key right now. But there is risk to self-sourcing this. And again, there is that lack of direct engagement with supervisors. The workload could just be, getting coffees, printing papers. It may not be beneficial to you. Whereas it comes to our programs, we review every host company that comes to us. All the projects are up to international standards. So you know for a fact that you're getting that internship you're seeking. Then there's ensuring the sense of community and network among interns. So again, if you self-source or go to your own internship, you will most likely be the only intern there. So you're not able to connect with your peers. We overcome this by connecting you with global peers via Slack. So you'll be engaging with your peers around the world about internships, about the struggles that they may be facing, about the sort of, their achievements as well. So it's a great way to connect with others and build out your connections. And then delivering adequate academic support to unpack challenges and the success to improve employability. So again, traditional internships really just focus on, we need you to complete project A, and that's the end of it. If you learn anything, that's great. If you don't, that's your own problem. We really support you in understanding and getting an academic understanding of what it is to become a great employee. And this is in the form of CareerBridge, which is our online employability tool, which at the end of it, you do get a global employability certificate. So why complete a virtual internships with VI? So we guarantee you an internship in your chosen career field. That is 100% guaranteed. So if you choose business, you 100% get a guaranteed business internship. If you choose healthcare and pharmaceuticals, 100% guaranteed. If you choose real estate, again, 100% guaranteed. We have 18 career fields for you to choose from. And again, all 100% guaranteed should you apply for them. There is professional support. So first-time work experience can be tricky, but with the additional support of our internship experience managers, 2 coaching sessions, live webinar, online curriculum, and access to real-time support anywhere, you are supported throughout the entirety of your internship. And it's not just an internship, there is extra courses on top. And then you get access to global host companies. So a guaranteed placement across the globe, allowing you to not only enhance your professional skills, but gain intercultural understanding and fluency. And this is a really big key skill a lot of employees are looking for today. Again, a lot of workplaces are diversifying. So again, they want individuals that understand these different cultures and add to their workforce. If you are currently, and if you are either sitting in your home country and wanting to go to Canada, or if you're currently in Canada and would like experience in Canada, or if you're in Canada and would like experience back at home, we can help with all of that. That's what we're here for. So you get to choose the country, you get to choose the career field. So again, you get to choose and dictate this program. All of our programs have got 8 core skills, as mentioned at the start, so which is professionalism, communication, critical thinking, teamwork, technology, leadership, equality, inclusion, and career and self-development. And we will work with you to review this at the pre-stage of the internship, during the internship, at the end of the internship, and then you'll get a detailed report on your development through these skills. You'll see where you started, where you ended up, and you will see the progress that you've made. And I can tell you, most students, if all students, do see progress in all 8, if not, you know, a fair few of these, 6, 7 of them. So the intern journey, so you get a guaranteed internship, like I've said, which is available for 1, 2, 3, or 4-month placements. You get to choose that, which is either 10, 20, or 30-hour work commitments per week. So you can either do a full-time or a part-time. So if you have current studies, part-time work, or family commitments that prevent you from doing a full-time internship, don't be disheartened. You can still do this program. You just do it part-time. If you've got a summer break up and coming, you can do a full-time internship and really knock it out in 1 month. There's online curriculum. As I mentioned, is the award-winning online employability course, Career Bridge. There's internship coaches that do a mid and endpoint coaching call with you that not only help you articulate your experience onto your CV and LinkedIn, but they also develop a global career path management plan with you. So you get to sort of see where you can see yourself in 2 years and 5 years and really knock off these goals and achieve that dream career. And then there's 360 support. So we do weekly check-ins with you and the host company to sort of see, well, to see how you're going. You can let us know if this is going fantastic. You can also let us know if there's any issues. We're here to support. And then there's webinars and events as well. So there's a lot included outside of just the internship itself. So the key takeaways outside of the actual internship, the skills, and understanding the career field that you're going into is a supervisor's evaluation, a career bridge completion report, a student assessment, and a global career management plan, which I've just discussed. You can also get a written testimony from your supervisor. Again, this is done by a case-by-case basis. We can help facilitate this. It is in the industry standard, though, that you write this out and sort of reflect over your experience. Then you provide it to your supervisor, they sign it off and send it back to you. So we can help facilitate that as well. And again, all these 4 documents or the 5 documents, they will greatly help you going into the workplace after your internship and after your studies. So again, you can show your supervisor's evaluation, you can show your career bridge completion report, your your certificate of completion. Again, you can show all these in a sort of PDF format or add them to LinkedIn, but employers do value this information. So some outcomes, 36% of interns were offered future positions within the host companies they intern with. So that's about 1 in 4 at the moment. This isn't a guarantee, but this is an opportunity. 97% of interns who began their internship completed it. 92% of interns agreed that the remote internship was a valuable learning experience. And then 83% agreed that they gained more confidence in gaining future employment. So 83% went away saying, I can actually get that job that I'm looking for. And again, that's really great to see. On this future positions, again, we don't guarantee it, but it is questions that I would strongly suggest asking your supervisor upon the close of your internship. We did an internal study of our host companies who 95, 96% said they would actually hire the intern on the spot if they had the resources available to actually take them on. So their primary reason for working with virtual internships, the reason why they sign up for virtual internships, is to build out that talent pool. It's not to get a project completed. It's not to, show representation of a different individual from a different country. It is really to build out that talent pipeline for them, which could either result within the next 3 to 6 months or a couple of years down the track. So again, it is interesting to note. So understanding the placement process. So we're here to help. Once you submit an application, you'll have the opportunity to have a chat with the enrollment team. This isn't a mandatory step, but I would encourage it, as it allows you to get a bit more understanding of the program that you're seeking and allows them to show you host company examples before you commit to the program. And again, they're available across all regions. It comes down into four sort of steps: is the admissions process, the placement process, completing your internship, and then receiving feedback and planning ahead. Meeting with students focused on the international internship experience. So we've created steps in the application process that allow you to identify top career fields and countries of interest. So you'll get to choose your career field out of 18 career fields and get to choose a country of choice you would like to complete the intern. And then these are our 18 career fields. As you can see, they are quite broad. So engineering, I am understanding there's civil, construction, mechanical, aviation, they're all sort of within this one field. When you're looking at a career field, try and sort of relate it to one of these, and then have a call with an enrollment manager to really get down to say, look, I'm really focused on civil engineering. And they'll be like, great, okay, we've noted that down. Here's an example. So the application steps are quite easy. Complete an online application form, which is in these slides today. Book a call with an enrollment manager, and then your offer letter and video submission will be coming after your confirmation of program. We have a very linear placement process, and this is a question I do get a fair amount of time, so I did want to include it. We don't present you with 10 companies at one time. We will present you with one company to have an interview with that supervisor at that time. You will then come back to us and say yes or no. And if you say no, we will then begin the search again. If you say yes, we'll go ahead and confirm it. At every interview, you will always have that option to say yes or no, but you'll need to provide us with valid reasons as to why. And so this is 3 reasons, and this is generally, the current project that they're working on doesn't necessarily align with what I'm currently studying, or their current mission statement isn't necessarily something I resonate with. Again, it has to be tangible so we can work off it. So you do get a degree of choice in this manner, but we don't want to overwhelm you with multiple choices because that does slow down the process. We have a 1 to 5 week window to place you. So we provide you one company at a time, you interview with them, and you let us know your thoughts. If there's any questions on this placement process, our team is online to sort of help you. Well, they are online to talk you through this process. The host companies, obviously this is quite important. We do have some large companies like Nando's, Denton's, APL Logistics, but they do make up about 10%. Majority are startups to small to medium-sized companies. Why this might, I know individuals really like those large corporate companies. The benefits of startups and small to medium sizes is you get to work with senior stakeholders. So this is your CTOs, your CEOs, your CFOs, direct sort of heads of departments. So you get senior leadership experience with no extra cost. If you were going to go and source this outside and get a mentorship program, you could be looking anywhere from $100 to $1,000. So this is included. You get to see how these individuals started these companies in their area, how they're building it, and you get this experience all included. As mentioned, 114 countries. You can see Canada is one of our top ones here. These are just some examples of type of roles. So there's app development, product management, marketing campaign coordinator, social media, business reporting, project management. But if you can think of a role, I can guarantee you we possibly have that internship. I've reviewed thousands and thousands of different roles. Each time I look in at our system, there's a new role that I've never seen before. So if you're ever unsure, feel free to reach out to our team and sort of discuss, this is the role I'm looking for, and they can help you align with the career field. But I can reassure you now, that role that you're seeking, we have it. This is the program delivery time. So 8 weeks prior, it'd be ideally to have your application. 6 weeks prior to your chosen start date. So again, you get to choose the start date. We'll need your confirmation of participation and video interview. Then the 1 to 5 weeks is a placement process. 1 week prior, we confirm the host company, and then you start your internship. Again, beginning the Monday with fortnightly dates, typically the 1st and 3rd Monday of each month. So now we're the sort of exciting part. So this is the application link, this QR code. You can scan it. It'll take you to the joint landing page between Connect and Virtual Internships. It has the instructions in there on how to apply. As you can see here, there is a discounted price of 750 USD, and this is a limited price. So to get access to this, and again, it's about 50% off, is to submit an application and input, sorry, that is the incorrect discount code. It is Connect, and that says that on the correct landing page. I will rectify that. However, it is to commit to the program by the 31st of January and then start your internship until the 31st of March. But again, this landing page takes you directly to the landing page. And again, it's very straightforward. You come here, see all this information. You've got the correct discount code here, so do take note of that. And then you come down here and you fill out the form. It's a very simple form, but if you have any issues, do reach out to us and we're happy to help.
Yeah, Alex, thank you very much for offering this great discount. And that's really, I think it will help lots of students make their decision, because like talking about the amount of services provided and the value of the program itself, it is really great. Like for some students, I believe it might be maybe even like a more valuable experience than completing another study course in their school, which might cost sometimes more than the amount that you're showing. So guys, consider taking the internship if you have the co-op options in your school. If you have the option of getting credits for taking an internship, this will most likely be counted. So check with your school. But the virtual internships, the company will provide you with all the reports necessary, with the reference letter. So pretty much everything which is required for co-op programs. And even some students studying in Canada already, they're struggling to find their co-op. They cannot find anything related to their field, having no work experience. And this is your great opportunity to do this within 8 weeks. Just make sure you apply ahead of time. And I think March is a great time, because many students, they have co-op starting in May or June. So if you guys apply by if you apply by the end of January and you get placement in the spring, then I think it's the best opportunity for you to take advantage of this discount. So thanks a lot, Alex. Thanks.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. And again, we can help with credit. We've done it in the past for thousands of students. We just need the information from you and your university, so we can help with that. So if you're struggling to find these credit-bearing internships, let us know, reach out to us and we can work with you. But again, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak with you all today and work with Connect. I'm looking forward to seeing some of you come through. I am going to open up it to questions now. So feel free to go to the Q&A section and input some questions. This could be in either in your local language or within English. I speak English, but I believe I could get some help in answering some of these questions. Okay, we got first one. Hello, does your company use or have heard of using tracking software for a remote worker is actually at work? So that is a really great question. Because you're an intern, they're not tracking you. We're not hovering over you. Our host companies are not hovering over you. We expect you to do the work that you agree to. So if you do 10 hours, we expect you to do the 10 hours. If you do 20 hours, you do the 20 hours. But no one is physically tracking you. You're not logging into a system and inputting your hours, because you're an intern. Really, again, at the end of the day, you're an intern. You're not here to sort of meet these time quotas. So again, you work to your ability, but no one's tracking you. But very good question.
Yeah, that's an interesting question, because I believe when COVID started, lots of people started moving out of big cities. I don't know if it was the same in Europe, but in Canada it happened a lot, and some people moved south, like to Mexico, because that was just like easier for.
Yep.
And they have great internet and everything. But yeah, that's an interesting question.
It is. My partner, she actually does have to input her hours.
Wow.
She does have to put her input, and that's just her work culture. It's a US company. That's just how they are. But yeah, again, they're an intern, so there's no one tracking your hours. There won't be any of that requirement.
Okay, guys, any other questions? You can raise your hand, or you can just simply send it in the chart.
Yep, there's the chat function. Raise your hand. Okay, another question. The program will take up to 4 months and the total cost is $750. So that is correct. Regardless of the months that you choose, regardless of the hours, it's still the same price. So if you choose 1 month at 30 hours per week, or if you choose 4 months at 10 hours per week, it's going to be $750. The reason for that is you get all the same inclusions regardless of the hours you're working for. But good question.
What is what is the length normally recommended by virtual internships? What is like the most proved to be like the most beneficial for students? Let's say.
So we have a minimum of 120 hours. That either looks like 4 months at 10 hours per week, or it's 1 month at 30 hours per week. In my personal opinion, and what I've spoken to students in the past about, is if you did a 3-month internship at 30 hours per week, most companies would consider this as a probation period, which allows you to have that conversation at the end of, look, I've just done 3 months of full-time work with you. I'd like to have that serious discussion of a potential position afterwards. That would be my personal advice. Again, I know not everyone has the ability to do 3 months at 30 hours per week, but the longer that you can be there, with the more hours that you can be there, the greater the chances you have to make that impression.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
Any other questions? Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so another question. Do I need a work permit if I'm already in Canada? No. So because these are virtual programs, there is no required for visas, sponsorship, contracts, whatever it may be. Because you're a virtual intern, it's a sort of an agreement between the host company and yourself that you would complete the work for them. There's no work permits. We've even had conversations, for example, in the UK for international students. They have a limit on their visas on how many hours they can work per week in the local community, which is about, I think it's 12 to 15 hours. They've got a set limit, but because they did a virtual internship program, they can actually do a full-time work experience without affecting their visa conditions. So if you have the same conditions in Canada where you're limited by the number of hours you can work, that won't be affected by this program.
Thanks. I would say in Canada, probably the most important would be how it works with your taxes and doing training, because like basically internship is a training. It doesn't really harm and doesn't really affect your taxes. So
it shouldn't affect any taxes. And again, if you're doing this through the university wanting to get credit, there's generally a lot of support behind that as well.
But then students who are already in Canada, they usually have work permit for, even now it's even more than 20 hours they can work full time. So there's a
that's quite
temporary
nice.
condition. Yeah, but then like generally it's 20 hours a week, or it can be full time during co-op or their holidays, their vacations. But
that's fantastic. Well, again, you can do a virtual internship program and still do your part-time work as well. So if you currently have studies and your part-time work, obviously you still want that income coming through. You can tack on an internship on top of that, and that won't affect any of your work permits.
Okay, sounds good.
Perfect.
Any other questions? Anything else? There are quite a few people who stay till the very end and no questions. I'm surprised whether there is not enough information or too much information to digest at the same time. So
It could be a bit of both.
I would suggest the following, guys. I will send you the link for the webinar as well, or maybe Alex will do this, will agree for this, but then you will be able to review some certain things again. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to send them to me or to Alex, because I had a lot of experience with this program as well, and I can tell you from the students' perspective what happened during their internship or upon the completion. So yeah, there is another question.
There is. It really comes down to your English
Okay.
levels. So we don't ask for any tests. We don't ask for any sort of proof of your English. We leave this decision up to you. What will happen is all of our communication and marketing will be in English. The internship itself will be in English. What we'll do is we'll assess this at the pre-recorded videos, and we will work with you to address this. So if we feel that you're not up to sort of communication at a business level, we will work with you to make sure that you get up to that level. So you don't have to have an English course to do it, to have it any better. You just have to be, ready to undertake this internship. And no doubt throughout the entirety of it, this will enhance your English as you go through. So you'll be writing emails, you'll be doing video calls, you might be speaking to clients, you might be speaking to your teammates. And again, all of this will be in English. So this is a really great opportunity for you to work on your English if that is a concern of yours.
Yeah, but something I wanted to add, guys, please don't consider that the like practicing your English will replace like proper English preparation, like academic preparation. So it's not the same. Practicing is great, but if you consider your English level is below the intermediate level, I would still suggest to take some classes, and there are great online programs as well. So just reach out to me and I will send you the information about the online courses that might prepare you in a very short period of time. But again, like those who are already taking English courses, virtual internship might be a great opportunity for you to practice your language, your language skills, and to utilize them in like real everyday life. And that's another great option for you. Yeah,
it is. Perfect. Great. Well, I think that's all of the questions for today, which has been fantastic. Again, it's been an absolute pleasure to present to everyone. I'll work with Connect here to send follow-up emails over the next couple of days. So you will have my email, you'll have access to this presentation, these slides. If there is any follow-up questions, do feel free to reach out to myself and Connect. And yeah, I'm looking forward to speaking to you all soon again.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you to those who stayed till the very end. And Alex, it was really productive. There was a lot of information. I really appreciate your support. I'm sure there will be lots of students encouraged and willing to take the virtual internships, and we'll stay connected. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Okay,
all right, guys.
Thanks. Bye.
Have a great day.